Okay. Right. So, welcome again guys sa ating free webinar series natin sa inyo ng Tech Academy. This is Billy Ramirez. So, ginagawa natin itong free webinar series natin na ito para makapagbigay tayo ng awareness and makapagbigay tayo ng at least fundamental knowledge doon sa mga aspiring IT professionals, doon sa mga newbies, doon sa mga beginners with the trending career in the IT right now, with the trending technologies in the IT right now, and with different options na pwede nyong tahakin or different path na pwede nyong puntahan in terms of your IT career. So we're inviting guest expert speakers in different paths of the IT industry para magbigay sa atin ng fundamental knowledge doon sa expertise nila, as well as mag-share ng kanilang experience, ng kanilang wisdom para matutunan natin. Okay, so right now, again, follow niyo yung page natin, Tech Academy PH, YouTube and Facebook. Right now, our topic, ang pag-uusapan natin is all about SOC or Security Operations Center. We know na ang cybersecurity is one of the hottest and in-demand job right now in the IT. Okay, and by being a SOC analyst or by working in a Security Operations Center, that's basically where you can build your strong foundation in terms of cybersecurity career. So our guest for today is, kagaya nga na nabanggit natin kanina, si Sir Semi Yulianto, wherein his work. I'm just gonna give a brief information about Sir Semi kasi sa dami ng accomplishment, sa dami ng project, sa dami ng certifications ni Sir Semi, abutin tayo hanggang hapon pag-iisa-isahin natin. Okay, so I'm just gonna give at least yung some of the major ones. Okay, so right now he's working as the SME or subject matter expert or consultant and advisor in terms of cybersecurity sa Gudang Crypto Indonesia or Crypto Asset Exchange Platform Management sa Jakarta, Indonesia. He's also SOC manager or the advisor with Sigma Kipta Karaka or regarding the telecommunication in IT. He's also in Indonesia. And aside from that, as some of you already know, he's the founder and CEO of SGI Asia. It's a consulting and professional services which is also based in Indonesia. Pero I guess may mga collaboration with din siya dito sa Pinas. Tama ba, sir? Right?
Meron.
And then he has a lot of IT certification, including the prestigious ones like the CISSP, CISA, CISM, CSSLP, and other Microsoft certified professional, certified trainer. And kagaya nga nung pinost natin sa Facebook, sabi ko nga rin kanina, he has, I think, almost more than hundreds certification siguro. Hindi na rin kasama yung mga nauna pa dati, di ba, sir? Pero hindi na natin isasama yon. Okay? Si Sir Semi has
wag na.
Yeah, years and years of experience in the IT industry, specifically in the cybersecurity field. So that's why we are so lucky and we are so honored to have him here. Aside from this, he's also been Instructor of the Year in the EC Council, prestigious EC Council, as well as Circle of Excellence. So in short, Sir Semi is one of the Lodi and one of the legend in our IT industry, specifically in cybersecurity. So allow me to introduce our guest expert for today's webinar, Sir Semi. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our free webinar series.
Okay.
You can take over the screen. Let me stop my share right now. There you go.
Sure. Okay, hang on for a while.
Good morning dun sa mga kakapasok lang. So, ayan. Right.
Okay, hang on, man. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep, we can see it loud and clear, sir.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to be able to provide and share my knowledge with this one. Hello, Billy. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Naputol kasi medyo mahina yung signal.
Okay.
Okay, I mean internet connection. So I'm using my secondary connection.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's good now, I think.
Yeah. So it's again, it's an honor for me to be able to share my knowledge, and thank you very much for attending the session today. So let's just start. Let me just okay. Can you see my screen clearly? Okay. So for this session, I have two different topics, but I will be. I mean, the topic is actually divided into two different. What do you call this part? Part one is Security Operations Center, Cybersecurity Monitoring Services Essential. So I'm going to explain this for a while. This is part one, and then after that, once you know about the Security Operations Center, then I will move on to the next one, which is actually the part two, which is about how to become a SOC analyst. Okay. All right. So let me check again my. Okay. So this is me. You can take my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Semi Yulianto. I got about up to now about 16,000 something subscribers, where you can actually in my YouTube channel you can actually see a lot of different topics being discussed. Okay, so nothing much about me. Billy already mentioned and introduced myself to you guys. Okay, so I'll just move on to the agenda. Now, the agenda for the first part, part one, Security Operations Center, is first we'll discuss what is actually Security Operations Center. And then we have the SOC Building Block. Then I'll move on to the SOC Organization, Compatible Tech 8 Detection, SOC CMM, Duties and Training Needs. Then SOC Roles and Responsibilities, Daily Analysis Overview, and then finally alarm and triage overview. Okay, so this is the first part that will inform you, or we're going to discuss about what is actually Security Operations Center and everything about the Security Operations Center. So this will help you to build the foundation of knowing what is actually Security Operations Center, how it works, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Okay, so Security Operations Center, a SOC is in fact, as you can see, is actually a location or place where security professionals would need to monitor and protect the critical information asset in the organization. Okay, and then a SOC or SOCs centralize and streamline the organization's security effort to maximize its effectiveness. So basically, if you look at the SOC, Security Operations Center, it's actually focuses more on detection capabilities. Okay, because SOC can be very difficult to establish, maintain, and finance. They are usually employed by large corporations, like perhaps government agency or healthcare company, or maybe like financial organization that deals with customers, data, personally identifiable information (PII), and maybe like a telco company which has a lot of different transactions every single minute. Okay, also like bank, which is part of the financial industry, and okay. And SOCs, despite their differences in size, scope, and responsibility, they tend to be designed with a few key principles in mind. Like, for example, we'll look at the SOC building blocks later on. Okay, so that's actually about the SOC, yeah. And if you look at the SOC building blocks, so SOC has the main building blocks, which include the people, the process, and the technology. Okay, so definitely people will need to be trained to be able to perform their job. Like we will have like formal training, on the job experience, vendor specific training, like understanding different types of SIM or security information event management, EDR, endpoint detection response, XDR, and so on and so forth. And then also internal training for basically understanding the behavior and culture of the organization. Okay. And then we have the process where we are dealing with the incident response process, like starting with the preparation, identification, containment, eradication, recovery, and then finally lesson learned. Now, for the technology here, I believe that if you look at the, what do you call this? The technology, we have different technologies here. Like, for example, we have the endpoint, endpoint protection, endpoint detection response. And we can have like net flow, network monitoring, threat intelligence, forensic, incident detection management, or the incident detection and management, and so on and so forth. So including the SIEM or SIM, which is the security information and event management. So this is exactly the building block of a SOC. Okay. So remember that SOC is basically a place where many security professionals are, monitoring and what we call this protecting the information security as asset of the information security within the organization. Okay. Next is the SOC organization. Yeah. So this graphic actually shows you this figure actually shows you the SOC organization where we have the let us start by looking at the front lines. The first tier 1. Tier 1 is also known as the alert analyst. They are the frontliners. Yeah. Then talking about what the alert analysis is doing, we'll discuss that later on. Yeah, we'll discuss about tier 1 alert analyst jobs or task, or I would say the daily job for the tier 1. Yeah, and then we have tier 2, which is known as the incident responder. And then we have the for the third level, we have the SME or subject matter expert, or sometimes also known as hunter. And then we have several different type of hunters, like threat hunting, threat intelligence, malware, reverse engineering, endpoint, and also network. Yeah. And then finally, we have the SOC manager. Yeah. SOC manager is actually a person who has the responsibility of dealing with the people's development, improving the processes, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So my current job is actually the SOC manager for a telco company, and I'm actually managing about 19 to 20 staff under me. We have like 11 tier 1 agents, and then we have about 6 tier 2 agents, so 17 now. Yeah, and then we have the 2 SME or tier 3 or level 3 hunter. So about 2, yeah, 2. So 2 plus 11, 13 plus 6, so 19, plus technical writer, 2 technical writers. They're actually they have the responsibility of creating reports and so on and so forth. plus one field coordinator, technical coordinator, plus me myself. So roughly around 20 staff. Yeah, and we're actually dealing with the telco. Yeah, so we are actually a telco related SOC, Security Operations Center, that is managing the what do you call this? The security operations of a telco company. Mas malaki
Sir, I
compared
hope you
to,
don't mind.
yes,
Just to
yes,
cut you off. Curious lang
yeah.
ako, sir. Are you in-house with the telco or you are acting as uh, outside, I mean, company like a consultant company for the telco?
Yes, yes. So the telco name is Telkomsel, which is actually one of the largest, I would say, number one largest telco company in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are actually Telkom Sigma, which is actually so basically there's a very big company in Indonesia called Telkom Indonesia. Telkom Indonesia is the parent company.
Mm-hmm.
So the parent company has many what do you call this?
Subsidiaries, something like that?
Subsidiaries, correct. Telkom Sigma and Telkomsel. So
Okay.
Telkom Sigma and Telkomsel, they are actually at the same level, where we are at Telkom Sigma, we're managing Telkomsel's SOC. So we are actually considered to be an outsourced company to
Okay.
Telkomsel.
Got it. Got it, sir.
Parang PLDT may mga anak,
Yep.
yung mga
Got it.
subsidiaries.
I got
Tapos
it. Thank you for
kami
that
we're
definition.
yes, yeah.
Thank you. All right. Go
So
ahead, sir.
they have their own. In fact, Telkomsel or this telco has their own SOC team, but we are outsourced to provide more in-depth security services or managed security services for them. So they have like 4 staff, including the SOC manager. So they have their own SOC manager. We have our own SOC manager. So me as a SOC manager from the outsource will talk to the SOC manager of that telecom. Yeah, so something like that. So you can imagine that we have millions of transactions every, and then that Indonesia is one of the biggest country with the biggest population. We have about almost 270 to 280 million. And then imagine if, let's say, just calculate like 60 to 70% of the populations are using Telkomsel. You can see the transactions. So it's like
okay. So that's 2 times of the Philippines already, right?
yes, correct. So parang PLDT to eh. Hindi naman PLDT, parang Globe. I can say parang Globe. Kasi is under Telkom Indonesia, which is parang PLDT pero may subsidiary yun. So anyway, so that's the SOC organization. We are actually following this SOC organizations, standard SOC organization where we have the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and the SOC manager. Okay. Any more question? Yes, 2 times of PH. Yeah, correct. Okay. If no question, then I'll move on to the compatible Tag 8 detection. So basically, if you have what do you call this? The idea of the technology being used by the SOC, we have so many different tools. In fact, yeah. So we've got like network traffic, network flows, system logs, endpoint data. I mean, we're talking about what data being fed into the security monitoring system. So we got data from tools or technology like firewall, intrusion detection system, intrusion prevention system, and so on and so forth. So we those data, network traffic, network flow, system logs, endpoint data, threat intel feeds, security event, identity and asset contacts, all are being fed into the security monitoring system, which is we're actually just to give you an idea that we're actually using a commercial tool for the SIM, very known tool called Splunk. Yeah. So very expensive tool as well. Very expensive SIM, comparable to ArcSight, comparable to QRadar or something like that. Yeah. So all of those data are being fed to the security monitoring system, to the SIM, so that we can get very good visibility. Yeah. By centralizing various sources, various data sources into security monitoring system, the SOC will gain actionable insight into possible anomalies or any indicative of threat activity. Okay, so that's actually about the visibility. That's why we need to get all of those data. Yeah, and then as the SOC analysts will do this. They will analyze the data from different sources or various sources to further interrogate and triage devices of interest to scope an incident. So that's actually the part of the SOC analyst. So if you ask about what they do, yeah, this is what they're actually doing. They analyze data from different sources and then interrogate and do the triage, yeah, and then based on that, based on the finding, whether it's automated or manual intervention can be later on made to include patching, firewall modification, system quarantine, and so on and so forth. So we need to do the analysis. So the main job of a SOC analyst is to perform the analysis. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the SOC CMM. Now, many organizations would or might want to do the, I would say, the measurement about their own SOC. Okay, so we can start with a very small SOC, like 8x5 SOC, which actually, just a small SOC that might have maybe like 5 to 6 people dealing with day-to-day operations, 8 hours in 5 days. But our SOC, I'm managing 24/7 SOC. So a very big SOC, which requires us to handle thousands of, 100,000s of alerts every day. So the SOC CMM here is actually used by many organizations to measure the capability and maturity of their own SOC. Yeah. So the SOC CMM will measure the different elements of the SOC, like the business, people, process, technology, and services. Maybe next time we will discuss about this in our next session, more about how to do the analysis, how to do the measurement related to the CMM or capability maturity. Okay, so this is actually a framework. Yeah, if you want to do your own self assessment. Yeah. Now, very important, yeah, duties and training needs. Okay, duties and training needs. We're going to talk about the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 plus the SOC manager. So let's have a look at tier 1 here. Duties: continuously monitor the alert queue, triage security alerts, monitors health of security sensors and endpoints, collect data, yeah, and contact necessary to initiate to tier 2 work. Okay, and you can see on the right side, on the next column, you will see or you can see here the required training. Yeah, required training like alert triage procedure, intrusion detection, network security information and event management, and host-based investigative training, and other tool-specific training, and also web certification. Yeah. So tier 2, perform deep dive incident analysis by correlating data from various sources, determines if a critical system or data set has been infected, advises on remediation, provides support for analytics method for detecting threats. And then required training include advanced network forensic, host-based forensic, incident response procedure, log reviews, basic malware assessment, network forensic, and threat intelligence. And then you can see the certification could include something like CompTIA Security Plus, SSCP, CISA Plus, Pentest, and so on and so forth. Yep. Now for tier 3, we have the subject matter expert or hunter, yeah, known as the SOC 3. Yeah. Duties include possesses in-depth knowledge on network endpoint, threat intelligence, forensic, and malware. reverse engineering, as well as the functioning of specific application underlying infrastructure. Yeah, so they're actually doing hunting almost every week. Yeah, not every day, but every week. So a proactive, what do you call this, activity, not waiting for escalated incidents, closely involved in developing, tuning, and implementing threat detection analysis. Yeah, so yeah, threat hunting is a very interesting job. Yeah, and definitely the required training include advanced training on anomaly detection, tool specific training, aggregation, threat intelligence, and threat hunting. While the SOC manager manages resources to include personal, budget, and so on and so forth, including communicating with the management, serves as the organization focal point, yeah, for business critical incidents. Yeah. So you can see, by the way, if you want this slide, I can also give you the slide. Yeah, send you the slide so that you can get some idea about duties and training needs. Okay?
Yeah. We're
Okay.
gonna ask a copy of the slide, sir. And
Okay, sure.
by the way, Sir Semi, by the way, SOC basically means it's on the blue side, right? In the blue team.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So basically, if you look at the blue team, usually most commonly, the security operations center is part of the blue team because they're actually dealing with detection, yeah? Identification and detection. While blue team, actually both blue team and SOC, they're dealing with defensive security. Yeah. So defensive security is the blood of SOC and blue team. Yeah. But it depends, right? It depends. Some organization would have their own SOC and they have their own blue team. So, but in terms of best practices, industry best practices, usually SOC fall under the blue team, what do you call this organization? Okay. All right. Next. Yeah. So this is the next one about SOC roles and responsibilities. So we have this graphic actually shows you, or the figure shows you the SOC roles and responsibilities, where we have the SOC manager. Then normally the SOC manager will report to the SOC owner, yeah, which is the organization, which could be represented by CISO. So for example, if you're dealing with the SOC outsourced SOC team, then the outsourced SOC team, the SOC manager, as the representative of the team, will need to report to the CISO. Let's say Globe has a CISO, yeah, and then Globe outsource SOC to different organization. So if I am the SOC manager of that organization, I will need to report to the CISO of Globe, something like that. Yeah. By the way, CISO of PLDT, I know him. Yeah, Angel Redoble, yeah. Okay, so here we have the tier N, which consists of the analyst roles, operations, alert management, and so on. So we also have the SIEM engineer, which is normally not part of our SOC, but sometimes also part of our SOC, depending on the organization's structure, yeah, which usually build use cases, troubleshooting, upgrade new data feeds, and so on. And then we have the security process engineer, which research, integrate threat intel, design use cases, and reports. Yeah. Okay, so that's the diagram. And then more about the SOC roles and responsibilities. Yeah, we have the tier 1, we have tier 2, and tier 3. As you can see, let's say if you are a SOC analyst, you will need to deal with real-time alert monitoring. Yeah, using SOP, standard operating procedure, or other standards operational guidance document, phone intake for initial case support, monitor system health, gather data, escalate most cases to the next layer, which is usually layer 2. If they can't resolve the case quickly, yeah, they're dealing with a lot of different things. In fact, yeah. So not only just looking at the alert, but they also need to analyze the alert and then use the triage, yeah, and to make sure that whether they can actually handle the alert, or they can't handle the alert. If they can't handle the alert, then they have to escalate this to the next tier. Okay. And then, so this is just a diagram about daily analysis overview. We have the alarm triage, dashboard review, yeah, SIM environmental security, looking at the alerts, SIM event logs, and so on, investigation, situational awareness, threat intelligence, and so on and so forth. Okay. Yeah, so this is the daily analysis. So some are done by L1 and some are done by L2 and L3. Yeah, including the, what do you call this, the supported, you know, this one, like a SIM engineer and security process engineer. Okay. All right. Lastly, about this is just about the, for the first part, part one. Yeah. Lastly is about alarm triage overview. So this is mostly the responsibility of the level 1 or tier 1. Review, prioritize alarms, triage, and classify. Now, triage is actually a process where the security analyst will need to, you know, look at the alarms and then looking at the, or look for the classification of the potential incidents. And then we have the, yeah, so there's a process, I can't really remember. So like classify the alarm, after that looking at the severity of the alarm, and then or priority of the alarm, if I'm not mistaken. So classification, prioritization, and then finally escalation. So something like that, yeah, in the triage process. Yeah, whether it's a true positive or false positive, yeah. If it is actually true positive, then we need to investigate and act on alarm, like process, escalate, rule out up to research. If it is actually false positive, classify and mark, resolve, something like that. Okay, I will deal with the questions later on. Okay, so please just hang on for a while because there are some questions here. Billy, should I answer this or
yeah, we can deal it later, sir. We have
okay.
we can have the Q&A after your presentation.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so ipunin niyo muna yung tanong niyo, guys. Okay.
Okay, sige. Okay. So let me proceed with the next slide regarding how to become. This is part 2 on Security Operations Center, how to become and work as a SOC analyst. Okay. Yeah, so agenda, we have a SOC analyst. What do SOC analysts do? Steps to become a SOC analyst, security certification, red and blue team certification, things to learn as a SOC analyst. Then move on to CompTIA, size a lab for SOC analysts, SOC and blue team tools, blue team toolkit, and find job. Okay. Now, the SOC analyst, you have seen the previous slides regarding, you know, the SOC organization, the structure, and so on. Now, basically, whether it's level 1, level 2, level 3, or tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, they're all SOC analysts. The SOC analysts are first responders to the cybersecurity threat and make the first analysis of the incident. And I mean, if you look at the SOC analysts, basically tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, they're all SOC analysts, right? But most commonly, the SOC analyst is referring to the tier 1 or L1, okay? Because the L2 and L3 are known as the incident responder and the SME. So let's consider SOC analyst is the first level, or L1 or tier 1. Okay, so they are the first responder to the cybersecurity threats and make the first analysis of the incident. The SOC analysts will evaluate the situation if necessary, they will perform escalation to the senior analysts. Yeah. So L2 and L3 are known as the senior analysts. Yeah. Yeah. As I already mentioned, there are 3 levels of SOC analysts. tier 1 or L1 alert analyst, tier 2 or L2 incident responder, and tier 3 or L3 SME or hunter. Yeah, so they're all basically SOC analysts. It's just like a junior analyst and senior analyst. So it depends on the now maybe you have a question like why there are tier 2 and tier 3 analysts. They are actually basically created to what do you call this, to solve the issues or you know, handles certain things like incidents, threat hunting and so on. So depending on the organization, they might just have like tier 1 only, or just tier 1 and tier 2. They don't have like tier 3 or layer 3. Depends on the organization's capability and, you know, of course, the funds, because you know, hiring level 2 and level 3 are very expensive. Yeah. I'll talk about this later on. Okay. So yeah, so they do first response to the threats, analyze the incident, and then after that escalate to senior analysts, right? Now, in general terms, it perform analysis using various security solution, yeah, or known as the SIM, security information and event management, SOAR, for the orchestration, EDR, endpoint detection response, log management, etc. And clarifies whether the alarm from SIEMs is suspicious. It requires a broad perspective as it has to analyze many different situations. Yeah. Okay. Now, so that's actually in general what the SOC analysts do. So they analyze the alert, they do triage, and then after that they do the analysis and then clarify whether the alarm is suspicious or not. If it is actually true positive, they will inform the respected department to do certain things, you know, blocking and so on. Maybe they have to tell the ITSSM to, okay, can you block this ports or something like that, and maybe they have to inform other departments to do a hardening, or they might also have the ability to discuss with the red team, yeah, red team and blue team about the strategy, yeah. So many things they will do, in fact, to make sure that the what do you call this, the defensive strategy is there, and then red team can also support them in terms of providing the you know, exercises, yeah, that will allow them to detect, yeah, the suspicious behaviors. Yeah, true positive means legitimate or valid activity. Yeah. Now let's move on to, since we have a very limited time here, let's move on to steps to become a SOC analyst. Number 1, learn fundamentals. Number 2, create portfolio. Number 3, experience. Number 4, red and blue team certifications. Number 5, find job. And the last one, security certification. Yeah. Now, you should learn fundamentals. Yeah. So let's say Billy or anyone here would like to become a SOC analyst, maybe just SOC analyst level 1. Okay. Then you would ask, what should I learn to provide me the fundamentals? Yeah. In fact, a lot of different certifications and a lot of different what do you call this, resources you can actually learn. But I would actually refer you to CompTIA. You know why CompTIA? Because number 1, I'm a CompTIA certified trainer, and also used to be CompTIA, Easy Counsel certified authorized instructor. But now I'm more into CompTIA. So CompTIA has a broad range of what do you call this, courses, yeah, that would allow you to learn the fundamentals. Like For non-IT, you can start by learning CompTIA IT fundamentals about hardware and software. And we have the CompTIA A+, hardware, OS, and application. You will learn about hardware, the operating system like Linux, Windows, and so on, including application. Then move on to Network Plus, where you will learn network fundamentals plus security fundamentals in Security Plus, and then CompTIA Pentest Plus for red team or offensive security. And finally, CompTIA CISA Plus. These are, in fact, CompTIA also has the advanced level of certification called CASP, CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner. But for the purpose of this presentation, I'm just going to talk about the IT fundamentals with the CISA. Yeah. So you will learn a lot of things from the hardware, software fundamentals, application, network security, and then specialization, right? Red team, penetration testing, ethical hacking, and then finally CISA related to blue team, SOC, and so on. Okay. So that's how you learn fundamental. Of course, you can learn anything from the internet, but it is actually better. It is actually recommended, highly recommended, to get sources from reputable organization like CompTIA, or you learn from, it depends. Yeah? You can learn from, of course, CompTIA or Easy Counsel or IC Square or Izaka and so on and so forth. But I'm talking about CompTIA because they provide a broad range of knowledge and skills that are very useful in order to become a SOC analyst. Okay, so these are the fundamentals. Then how do you create a portfolio? Okay, creating portfolio is a bit tough, in fact, especially if you do not have any experience. But of course, you can start by creating a an account in LinkedIn, show your passion. Some of my LinkedIn friends just put the title as cybersecurity enthusiast, something like that. Yeah, or a hobby or something like that. Then once you have the LinkedIn profile, and then you move on to Medium. Medium is actually a platform where you can actually write something about your passion, your cybersecurity passion, anything about bug bounty, about SIM, SOC, whatever. Yeah, and also Reddit. This is also another media where you can actually start creating or writing something about your hobby. Then what to write? The question is what should I write in Medium or Reddit, or even in LinkedIn? Well, if you're a cybersecurity enthusiast, or you have a hobby, or you have an interest in terms of cybersecurity, you can start writing something, anything about OWASP Top 10, which is actually about web application security vulnerabilities and tips and tricks. Yeah. So also talk about red and blue team, or maybe it's something like why blue team is important, something like that. Yeah. So you can start building your portfolio by having a LinkedIn account, create or write anything in Medium, Reddit, and so on. Okay, that would actually attract the attention of a recruiter. You can show them that, oh, I wrote something. Okay, and then experience. This is a bit tough, yeah, because no organization would like or would give you, I would say, the opportunity to join their company as the intern. Not many organizations would do this. Yeah, one way to get an experience is to have the internship. Yeah, an internship or on-the-job training in the field of blue team will make this process easier. Yeah, so try to look for different organizations which are dealing with financial or finance, or maybe telecommunications, so on and so forth, and then apply for on-the-job training. basically my organization, we're also doing the, we're offering on-the-job training for our, candidates or anyone who would like to, to do the on-the-job training. Yeah. But currently, we're only accepting those from Indonesia because of the language barrier and some issues related to employment. But hopefully, in the next few years, we'll be opening this opportunity to people from different what do you call these countries, including the Philippines, because I have a lot of different. I have a lot of students from the Philippines who were actually asking me about whether they can actually join the or get into the on-the-job training in my organization, because my own organization, which is PTC Stack Global Informasi, which is SGI Asia, we're actually dealing with penetration testing, security audit, and SOC. Yeah. So hopefully, yeah, I won't say anything yet today, but hopefully within a few months or maybe next year, we'll be opening, the OJT, especially, remote OJT for candidates from the Philippines. Yeah, me as a CEO, I would really love to get, people from different countries, especially the Philippines, because I know the Philippines very well. I know the people there. I know they are very hardworking. Yeah, I met a lot of different, security professionals in the Middle East, in the Philippines, and so on. They are mostly from the Philippines. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Sir, if
yes.
that happens, like you need internships or you need even applicants for your tier 1, just let me know and I will disseminate to my community, my students, and all the attendees of the webinar para we can give them opportunities.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Right now, if you, I'm thinking about having a boot camp. In fact, maybe after this, I will think about having a boot camp that will. The idea of having a boot camp is to create as many SOC analysts as possible, because we need this. We need this not only for the Philippines, not only for Indonesia. I also, I'm in the process of doing something else. I won't say something yet today, but I'm in the process of dealing with another company, and I might need more and more SOC analysts, especially level 1.
So that means more opportunities for
1.
us. Yep.
Yes.
So just let us know, Sir Semi, and
yes.
we will help you spread the advocacy and the opportunities for our fellow Filipinos.
Sure. Yes, sure. I would really like to help those who needs the job, and especially those talented people. Yeah. So back to the topic. So if you're a university of college student, you can make it clear that you can really want to have the career in the blue team. Then one thing that you can actually prove is doing your internship in the field. Yeah, so that's one way. Yeah, of course there are many other ways. Yeah, we'll discuss about this later. Now about security certification. So you can go to this pauljeremy.com security certification roadmap, and you can look at what security certifications are actually needed nowadays, or too many, in fact, too many. So because there are too many certifications here, I created my own map, something like this. Yeah. So red and blue team certification. Yeah. It's supposed to be both actually. Yeah, because we're also dealing with the CompTIA Security Plus and Pen Test. So if you want to become a SOC analyst, alert analyst, CompTIA Security Plus is a must. Then after that, Microattack optional. Yeah. SOC Level 2 incident responder, you need to have CompTIA Security Plus. For basic, intermediate, you can have like CompTIA CISA Plus and Pentest Plus. And for the advanced cyber intrusion detection analysis, Microattack Framework is optional. Yeah, and then also for the SOC L3 SME or Hunter. Yeah, so we have Security Plus, CISA Plus, Pentest Plus. Now, why red and blue team certification? Because here you also need to learn things like Pentest Plus. That is actually meant for the red team. Yeah, so Pentest Plus is actually for red team, or there are this Pentest Plus is the red team related certifications. Yeah, so you have to learn. The best is actually to learn from both sides, offensive and defensive, not only from one side, because you also need to learn and understand the attacker's mindset. Okay. All right, then things to learn as a SOC analyst. Yeah, these are some intermediate to advanced. Yeah, like advanced persistent threat. You have to understand about advanced persistent threat, cyber kill chain, the diamond model, pyramid of pain, and Micro framework. So this is about advanced persistent threat. I won't really go into details on this. Yeah, so go ahead and do some research about advanced persistent threat. Like we have the APT group, 29 Muddy Water, or maybe something like a group that creates the Conti ransomware, Hive ransomware, Hive APT, and so on and so forth. There are many advanced persistent group nowadays. Yeah, representing Russia, China, North Korea. Yeah, and then you also need to understand about cyber kill chain, which is basically created by Lockheed Martin, that actually deals with the process starting from reconnaissance up to the action on objective. This is actually a diagram or a graphic that shows the process of how the attackers can gain into or can gain access and get a command and control in your organization. Yeah, it's about intrusion, in fact. Yeah. Also, things about the diamond model, where you also learn about the adversary, capability, and intrusion. Yeah. So this is just an example of the visualization of activity threats from reconnaissance to action on objective based on the diamond model. Yeah. You will learn this, in fact, in CISA Plus, the cybersecurity analyst of CompTIA. Yeah. Also learn about pyramid of pain. Yeah. And very interesting is this one, Microattack ATT and CK framework, or ATT and CK stands for adversary tactics and techniques, and common knowledge. Yeah, this particular Microattack framework is a framework which allows you to identify the intrusion based on their own TTPs, or tactics, techniques, and procedures. And you can use this Microattack framework for I would say for the cyber threat intelligence. Yeah, even this is actually a screenshot from an EDR called Carbon Black, which actually uses the embedded Micro technique for ID tagging. Yeah, so for example, Micro T1057 process discovery, which actually shows the process and map to the Microattack framework. A lot of tools and applications are utilizing this Microattack framework to provide the TTPs, or the techniques and procedure. Yeah, just like this one. This is just an example of the embedded Micro techniques ID tagging used by EDR, Carbon Black EDR. And there's also more about tactics and techniques used by the APT, Chimera. So basically, you can use the Microattack framework to draw a diagram about the tactics and techniques used by certain APT, or even like ransomware. Yeah. The idea is to prepare for defensive strategy on how to deal with this particular attack. Yeah. And as I already mentioned, one of the certification that would allow you to get the fundamentals of being a SOC analyst is CISA Plus. These are just a summary of the labs, yeah, where you can learn a lot of things. Yeah. Basically, if you want to have the labs without attending there's a cheaper way of learning CompTIA. You can just spend maybe like less than $100 US dollar to get the tools. They have these two different tools called CompTIA CertMaster Learn, which consists of ebook plus videos plus practice exam plus the labs. So total is about 44 plus 44, so $88, where you can get the labs plus the ebook videos and what do you call this, the practice exam. Anyone who wants to purchase this, you can contact Billy or maybe contact me directly. Yeah, because these tools are designed for self-study. Yeah, so you don't have to pay very expensive courses or training just to learn about the SOC analysts. Yeah, so you can actually just prepare like $88, then you can learn everything. Yeah, from by yourself. Yeah, because this is actually designed for, the labs and the tools are actually designed for you to do self-study. Yeah, like for example, analyzing output from network security monitoring tool, analyzing output from security appliance log, and so on and so forth, including configuring SIM agent, collectors, and so on and so forth. Okay, I won't really go into details on that. And then SOC and blue team tools. Yeah, all other tools you can learn, like honeypot, sandboxes, incident response, log management analysis, SIM, endpoint detection response, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so these are the tools, and we have the blue team toolkits like ping, IP config, and so on and so forth. Yeah, these are what you need to learn in terms of becoming or to provide the foundation before you become a SOC analyst. Yeah. Now, finally, find job. Go to job-related website like LinkedIn, Monster, GovTalent, JobStreet, and you can use keyword search such as SOC analyst, cybersecurity analyst, and so on. Now, that's actually my presentation, but I'll show you something. Yeah, let me just connect to my. So I want to show you something that you might want to do. Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll connect to my remote lab. So maybe you have a question like, what should I do if let's say let's say you want to become a SOC analyst and you want to practice on something, right? Okay, just hang on for a while. Okay, hang on for a while. Let me just.
By the way, guys, while Sir Semi is preparing his demonstration, for those for our attendance and certificate, you can go to techacademy.ph/SOC, like you can see on the chat box, para dun sa attendance natin and certificate. So remember again na kung sino lang yung nag-fill up, and make sure tama yung i-fill up na information, yun lang yung bibigyan natin ng certificate. Okay, so again, techacademy.ph/SOC.
Okay, so I'm ready here. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yep, sir.
Okay, so for those who want to become a SOC analyst and wondering, how can I learn or study by myself? Yeah, number one, you can use these certification tools like CompTIA, CISO Plus, the one I mentioned earlier. And number two is you can set up your own lab. Of course, this requires you to have quite a powerful laptop or PC. So for example, you can set up this one, Security Onion, free open source tool that will allow you to learn a lot of things here. Where you can actually look at the alerts provided by this Suricata, which is the intrusion detection system, network intrusion detection system. You can also use the hunt, what do you call this feature, and also this one. I'm sorry, supposed to be here. So, oops. Yeah. So I'm using Security Onion, Wazoo, and also I have set up my own Splunk Enterprise, but it's not shown here. So only open source tool, because Splunk you need to pay. We can use the evaluation version, but it only allows us to use Splunk for 30 days. Wazoo and Security Onion, yeah. This Security Onion would show you a lot of different alerts here, including the Suricata, and I also use Wazoo to train my SOC analysts or candidates to learn about the events. Yeah, and you can actually look at my setup. Very simple. You just need to have Security Onion and Wazoo. So you might need to have like a laptop or PC with at least 8 to 16 gigabyte of RAM to allow you to learn things like this. Yeah. Yeah. So you can actually and then you can go to the modules here. You can you can install several agents. Like here, I have 5 agents: Windows Domain Controller, Windows Server, Windows Desktop. And I use Windows Desktop for testing many different things. And then for testing, you can use like here. I'm actually using a tool that will allow me to simulate the attack. You can of course use Kali Linux and so on. So I'm using this one. This is actually I'm using this atomic. Yeah, I'm using this invoke atomic test. This is actually a tool that will allow you to simulate the threats or the attacks. Yeah. For example, this one, I will do invoke atomic test all. Just press yes, and then it will do the attack. And then while you're doing the attack, you can actually analyze the results, or whether you can actually detect the attack based on whatever they're doing. This is actually atomic test is actually the tool used by Red Team. Yeah, so you can use the tool used by, you can utilize the tools used by Red Team to simulate the attack. And then while you're doing this, you can also analyze this for particular hosts. So you can see. You can go to the this one, and you can go to the security event for today, and you can analyze what type of attacks are being launched, something like that. Okay, so not too expensive. Yeah, I do this for my own lab. I have set up my own home lab to perform the attack as well as performing the detection. Yeah. So the idea is you use the tools to simulate the attack and then do the detection. Okay, something like that. Yeah, hope this will help you to establish your passion as a security or as the cybersecurity enthusiast to learn more about this Security Operations Center and SIEM. Or this is actually a very good something like SIEM. It's not really a SIEM or Security Information and Event Management. It's something called log aggregation. Of course, you can use things like Splunk or QRadar, IBM QRadar to practice your skills. Okay. I think that's all from my side, Billy. Yeah. Maybe it's
right. So yeah, that's a very good demonstration, sir. Kasi you can learn the theory by reading the books and going to the videos, right? Di ba, Sir Semi? Pero you really need to have a hands-on experience para talagang ma-practice nyo yung what you call this, configurations and yung skills mismo, kasi doon natin makukuha yan. So
tama.
thank you for showing that very simple yet informative demo or lab. And as I mentioning earlier, for those who want to get their certificate, go to techacademy.ph/SOC or SOC para doon sa ating pangalan nito, presentation, certificate. Okay, so right now, I guess we can go ahead and entertain questions from you guys. If you have questions with Sir Semi, you can go ahead on the chat box. I guess may mga nalampasan tayo kanina.
Yes. Meron. Let me read this from Ricardo. I'll go ahead reading this, Billy.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. There's a question about CMM. CMM stands for Capability Maturity Model. SOC CMM is the tool used to measure the capability of your SOC, Security Operations Center. Okay. And there's another question from, this is from Ricardo. What are the sample assets? So sample assets that the company will monitor, usually servers, like web servers, application servers, security devices, network devices, and so on and so forth. Too many. And usually assets are being monitored are, mission critical assets. Yeah, that is very crucial to the organization. And then from Raven, when you say false positive, so false positive, it means that it is a legitimate alert but not malicious. Correct. Yeah, that's the false positive, meaning that there was an activity which is actually legitimate. Like, for example, your offensive team is doing vulnerability scanning. It was actually detected by our devices or our sources, but it's actually legitimate and does not actually come from the malicious attackers, something like that. Okay. So basically I'm not sure what it is. Okay, Curator from Raven. Curator is from IBM and it's also good to learn. If you have like very powerful PC, it is actually good for you to learn Wazoo, Splunk, or even Curator Community Edition. You can use Curator Community Edition to learn about the SOC and analysis. Then we have from Ian Sabri. Go ahead, do the training. This Sabri also has a lot of different courses to prepare you for the SOC. And then question being from Briley John. John. Being a SOC analyst is really mandatory, being able to do red team-based skill pen tests, or you only need to understand the concept. So it is highly recommended to know the knowledge, and perhaps you might have to also acquire the skills and understand the concept. So highly recommended. But if you don't have it, it's actually fine. But we are trying to, because as a defender, it is actually very crucial to understand the attacker's mindset. How would the attacker do when, let's say, they're actually in a system, or what would they do if, let's say, they found this particular vulnerabilities. So it's highly recommended, but it's optional. The slides I'll send it to Billy, then so you can you can upload to your what do you call this?
So we're gonna send you an email once we uploaded the recording, including the slides. We're gonna get that from Sir Semi. Another question, Sir John Paul. What tools can you use for VAPT that make easy and friendly user?
Well, there are many open source tools. You can use Kali Linux. Open source tool, you can use Parrot Security and so on. Because if you're dealing with the commercial tools, they're all very expensive. You'll start learning or studying with open source tools. Yeah. So also about the lab. No. So let's say, what if you don't have a laptop or a PC that can be used to create a lab, something like this. Well, again, it depends on your capability, your financial capability as well. If you think that you do not have a very powerful laptop or PC, I would really suggest that you buy the online labs. The online lab, which only requires you to use web browser. So with the CompTIA online lab, you just need to connect the lab through your browser. Everything will be done within the browser. You don't have to set up any lab. The lab is already there, step by step. Yeah. Go to my channel and let me just, I think I can show you this. Okay, hang on for a while. Let me just give you an idea about the lab. There's a YouTube. I've already created a YouTube video regarding this lab, so you might want to have a look at the lab. Yeah.
You can
So
share your screen, Sir Semi. By the way,
yeah,
we're
let
gonna
me
ask the
either-
link to his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Para makita nyo lahat. By the way, dun sa mga hindi pa nagpipill off
Yeah.
ng ating attendance, techacademy.ph/SOC para sa attendance and ating certificate. I can only see 95 responses right now, but 96, we're on 132. So ayan.
Yeah. Ito yung labs. So this is just an example of Cert Master Lab for CompTIA Labs. Yeah. So everything is, okay, hang on. Yeah, so it's something like this. Yeah. So everything is or can be can be managed through the web browser only. So go to this one. Yeah, just type labs in my YouTube channel. You'll see how you can actually run the labs just by utilizing your browser. Very interactive lab. Of course, depends on your internet connection. Okay, so see, very simple. And the cost of the lab, if you buy it from outside, it will cost more than $100. But if you buy directly from me, because I have like, we are the authorized CompTIA partner, and I can give you up to total about 50% discount. So you only pay about $44 for 1 year access. Magkano yung $44 sa Pinas na? Sa
Yeah,
peso?
that's around 2,500, I guess.
Yeah, see? For 1 year.
Yeah, it's a huge savings. Do you also have the discount voucher code for the exam, Sir Semi?
Yes, 20%. No, you don't need to apply any discount code. You just buy it from me directly, and after that, you will get the voucher with the 20% discount inclusive.
No, you including the exam and for the lab?
No.
Just for the lab.
You have to purchase. Yeah, you have to purchase the lab and the exam voucher separately. But by default, I'm giving 20 to 50% discount. 50% discount for the lab, 20% discount for the exam voucher.
Okay, right. So
basta
for those
sobrang mura. You won't find this anywhere.
Right. So doon sa mga nagpaplanong mag-exam ng SEC Plus or even Network Plus, right? Or I guess SGA Asia is a CompTIA learning partner, so it's a legit.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Yes. So sobrang mura na yan, 2,500 for 1 year. It's we're talking about investment, right? So if you want to become something, you have to invest on something, right?
Agree.
But you don't have to invest in a very very expensive way, right? Yeah. So the easiest way is to purchase the lab and then learn from the lab, learn from the ebook and something like that. Do your practice. At least when there's a question, or let's say why lab is very important, because when you are interviewed by the manager who would like to hire you, as the SOC analyst, you would be questions about, hey, have you ever or do you know anything about alerts? How do you handle alert? How do you do this, and that? Yeah, actually, all the labs has the same price: Pentas Plus, Security Plus, CISA Plus, all $44. Yeah, that's actually one question from Andrew. So ito yung lab ito yung lab. Sobrang ganda yung lab. Basta you won't what do you call this, you won't be disappointed. You'll be satisfied with the lab. Very nice, very intuitive, and is internet connection with your laptop. You don't have to use like very high-end laptop. You can just use like a laptop with 4 GB of memory, and you can just launch the browser as easy as that. Yeah, so you just need to buy the CertMaster Labs, CertMaster Labs, CertMaster Learn. CertMaster Learn, it has, okay, let me just write down something. So CompTIA has CompTIA CertMaster Learn. This is actually ebook plus videos plus assessment. Then we have the CompTIA CertMaster Labs. This is actually the online labs for Security Plus, for CISA Plus, or Pentas Plus. Okay. Iba-iba kasi yung labs ya. Let's say if you want to buy Security Plus, then you have to get the module for Security Plus. Next, if you want to move on to the CISA Plus, then you buy the online labs and for the CertMaster Learn for that particular course. May page kayo para ma-follow. Facebook, yung Facebook ko, sandali.
Yeah, and we're gonna ask Sir Semi's email or contact, or you can search him directly and ask him about the discount or voucher code, and para magamit nyo for those who are preparing or planning to take CompTIA's exam. And I can assure you that those are legit, because Sir Semi won't bet his name with the, if it's a scam or and SJ Asia is a CompTIA learning partner, so
yes,
that's why he can give those
CompTIA learning partners. Yeah, yep. Don't have to worry. Yeah, yung may LinkedIn din. Yeah, may LinkedIn.
Yeah, you can also follow that him on LinkedIn. We're gonna collate all of those information, including the slides, then as well as the recording of this, para dun sa mga gusto ng replay and other.
Yeah. By the way, there's a question about how do I pay. Basically, we can pay by PayPal, or you can also send to my Philippines local bank. I have East West Bank sa Pinas. So yun. So you can deal with me. You can chat me or through Telegram, WhatsApp, or maybe you can actually also let me just. I think I can show you again the sandali para ano niya yung context. Is it okay, Billy? No issue, right, Billy?
With
this showing this one? Showing
sure. Let me stop my screen share, sir.
Okay.
By the way, may question si John Bantayan, I guess, or Semi, if it's okay to take Security Plus without having without taking A Plus.
Pwede. You can skip naman eh. Wala namang problema. Basta make sure that you understand operating systems and hardware. Okay na yan. Basta kasi Security Plus is foundation din. Pero I would really suggest that you learn something like Network Plus para at least magamit mo sa sa Security Plus kasi daming mga topics related.
But I guess John is part of our CCNA community, so I guess magagamit mo yung knowledge mo.
Oh yeah. Siyempre, CCNA community. Sigurado yan. Ako rin, dati, I start learning CCNA, CCNP about maybe 10 years ago. And they are very, very useful in terms of the knowledge you learn, your foundational knowledge you learn that you have learned from CCNA or any other certification would really help you to build your foundation. So I became a security, I would say a cybersecurity, I won't say expert, a cybersecurity professional. I became cybersecurity professional by also having those fundamentals. Before I jump into cybersecurity, I have started with very, very technical, background or experience. Like I was a programmer for 15 years plus networking. I also learned Microsoft, Cisco, Linux, and so on and so forth. Then I jumped into cybersecurity.
Agreed, sir. And for those of you who haven't know, as you can see on the screen, Sir Semi is non-IT graduate. He just took masters on the IT and then acquired skills and knowledge of an IT professional. Kasi marami rin nagtatanong nito, Sir Semi, can I go with IT even if I'm not or a business course or anything? Yes, actually yes. Marami nang nagpatunay, marami nang naging successful. Sir Semi is one of those. You just need to really acquire the skills and knowledge and learn, kumbaga invest time and effort, including of course money, to really enhance your skills or level up your skills.
Yeah, correct. So you don't have to worry about your I would say your college or university degree. Those are basics. You have to acquire something else, like by learning things like Cisco, Network Plus, and so on and so forth. That would really build your foundation, to become more successful and bigger.
Questions.
Parang sobrang excited sila.
Questions ni KM. I guess KM nasagot na to with other questions. Like, you can skip naman. Other certifications are not necessary. Like you follow the exact all certificate. But of course, building the foundation is essential, kumbaga. So you don't really need to take all of the certification. Kumbaga, focus ka muna with what you really need, kumbaga, para makapagsimula.
Syempre, if you have time, if you want to discuss with me, go ahead and throw me questions. Like I provide a free consultation to fellow Filipinos and even Indonesian, or whoever needed my consultation. I really, because I am an educator, I like to educate people so that we can have better, cyberspace, safer cyberspace.
Agree. So Sir Semi is one of the IT. I treat him as a mentor because I really want to have something like what he did in terms of educating, lalo na yung mga kapwa Pinoy in terms of the IT. So if you have questions in terms of like you are confused kung anong path yung gusto nyong sundan or anong gusto nyong skills na unahin, you can ask me or directly go with Sir Semi and you can ask for a piece of advice na pwede nyong magamit sa inyong career. Pwede din daw bang love life, Sir Semi?
Sorry?
Joke lang yun, Joke lang yun, Sir Semi.
Love life? Meron siyempre.
Is there any SOC bootcamp in Indonesia from Elaine?
Actually, we have what we call as the Anak Asuh Cyber, something like a bootcamp where we teach people about Security Plus, Network Plus, CISO Plus, and Pentest Plus. But I may want to, I'm planning to do a SOC bootcamp for Indonesia and the Philippines because I'm very familiar with these two countries. So
if ever you're conducting here in the Philippines, just let us know. We will help you spread the word.
Of course, siguro mix na lang, yung mga, attendees from Indonesia plus attendees from, the Philippines. Para you can also discuss with, people from the country. Okay. Ako open naman ako kahit from Africa, in-entertain ko
so probably we can also invite you from for example, Kasi in my end, since I teach CCNA, we're on the network side, pero of course, since CCNA also includes some security topics,
Yeah, cyber ops,
so,
di ba? Yung
let us
Cisco
know
cyber
kapag
ops.
nandito ka sir sa Pinas and probably we can have some coffee para ma-discuss.
Syempre. Saan gusto nyo? Ako, gusto ko sa Green Hills. Marami yan.
Anywhere.
Masarap yung pagkain yan.
Question from John Ronmar. Sir, I'm a fresh grad of BSIT. Pwede ba akong mag-skip ng CompTIA ITF and A+, and I want to pursue network engineering by starting Network Plus followed by CCNA?
Pwede.
Yeah, so
Wala naman
basically
problema
guys,
skipping.
CompTIA is in vendor neutral certification education company. So they tackle, sabi nga ni Sir Semi, a wide range or general practice or technologies in terms of the IT. So yun nga, may kanya-kanya silang certification pero hindi sila specific, for example, sa Cisco configuration or sa Juniper and so on. They are in general. So maganda rin siyang foundation dahil paglabas mo, kumbaga, you have all this knowledge na pwedeng applyan kahit yung company is using Cisco or using ganitong vendor and so on. Hindi ka vendor specific lang. Okay?
Yeah.
Maganda rin yun, lalo na sa in terms of cybersecurity dahil kapag security na yung pinag-usapan, ano na siya parang kailangan mo maintindihan in terms of all the vendors din.
Yeah, so kasi Network Plus is very generic. Ibig sabihin, they also discuss about Cisco, Huawei, and other types of routers and switches. Ganyan.
Right.
Okay.
Question.
So,
by the way, dun sa mga hindi pa nagpipila pa, techacademy.ph/SOC. I have a personal question, Sir Semi. Since you are a SOC manager, when hiring, for example, a SOC analyst or tier 1, what do you look for a candidate? I mean, how do you gauge the applicants from your own personal experience?
When I do hiring, I usually look for the candidate with very minimum level very minimum level of experience.
Okay.
But of course, I need people who want to learn. So
do you require certifications? Like
hindi naman mandatory or crucial yung certification. Later na yung certification kasi I usually get people, fresh graduates, and then I train them. I get them as my staff, and then I train them from the basic, and then I provide certification. In my company, I usually get people without certification at all, and then we train them, we provide them with certifications, something like that. Of course, if you have certification, that would be great. That would be better.
Alright. So,
may question about yung medical condition, colorblind. Medyo, I think for color coding, I mean, like when you have a problem with your eyes or vision, colorblind, not really necessary to have people with great condition. So kahit colorblind pwede naman kasi you're dealing with the text rather than colors.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So if you ask about hiring people, especially SOC level 1, number one for me is not about the certification. It's more about the attitude. Number one is attitude. Number two is what do you call this? The passion. The passion and the what do you call this? Very hard to explain in English. It's about
the curiosity, I guess.
Curiosity, yes. Passion, curiosity, and also ability to learn.
Yeah, your willingness to learn. Yep.
Yes, willingness is more about, I would say willingness to learn is because we cannot get someone who's ready-made. It's very hard. That's why I would really love to train the people without any experience, train the people, give them certification, and then let them go for the actual work, something like that. And programming is not needed. Programming is not needed unless if you're doing like SOC level 1, you just need to know a little bit of query, like when you're dealing with Splunk, you have to understand the query, like SPL query, something like that, where you can actually learn it. Yeah. And maybe next time I'll discuss this SPL query, Splunk, or any other query used by SOC analysts in my next videos.
Yeah, we can have part 2 of the webinar in the coming months. Or question from Bruce, magagamit ba yung server management administration skills sa SOC? I guess, yes.
Yes, correct. Pero not really that needed. Yeah, not really. Maybe like siguro mga 20-30% lang. Kasi more into hardening, rather patching, hardening, something like that. SDN, not really. There are also SDN is usually used by the other team. Yeah, we're not doing that one. Wala akong Facebook page. Sorry, yung Facebook page ko ito. Yeah. So maybe we can plan something on our next session, Billy.
Sure. By the way, sir, do you have any we're on the last leg of our webinar. Do you have any projects or programs to promote right now? Can you share them on screen? Do you need like
program
or anything like your channel or your website? Pero I guess pinakita na kanina, no, ni Sir Semi.
Pinakita na.
Okay.
Wala naman. So if let's say
okay.
Yeah, sorry. In case you need more information from me, feel free to contact me at any time. Siguro by WhatsApp, Telegram. By the way, we're not really using Fiverr in Indonesia. So we're actually using mostly using WhatsApp rather than Telegram. We use Telegram, and number 1 is WhatsApp, number 2 Telegram, but we don't use Fiverr. That's for your information. So many of my friends from the Philippines are trying to contact me through Fiverr. I don't really use Fiverr. Yeah. And if you have any question or you want to discuss something with me, you can always email me.
Yeah, and for those interested sa voucher and discount code or a discount with the labs and certification with CompTIA, just shoot an email or directly contact Sir Semi para mapag-usapan nyo ng in private yung discount.
Yeah, basta I'm dedicated to helping Filipino as well, because yung son ko nasa Pilipinas din sa Urdaneta. Yeah, kaya
may dito siya may family, sir?
Yeah, doon sa sa Urdaneta, Pangasinan. He's going to college by next year. So ito rin yung sinasabi ko sa kanya para magiging IT professional din siya. Kagaya ko. Kagaya sa papa niya. Yeah? Like father, like son. Yeah, yun lang from that's all from me. So thank you very much for your.
If you have questions, by the way, dun sa mga hindi pa nag-fill up, techacademy.ph/SOC para doon sa attendance natin and certificate of participation. So again, kung wala kayo dyan, hindi na namin binibigyan yung mga wala sa attendance. It will redirect you to a Google form to fill up your name and email para doon ko na lang kukunin. Right? So, yun lang. Questions. Baka may question pa kayo kay Sir Semi. Personal question again, sir. Ay magtanong ng mga to nahihiya yata. From your experience, what was the most challenging breach or attack in terms of cybersecurity have you experienced? Just curious.
Malware, especially ransomware. Sobrang kasi there are many, I would say organizations right here in Indonesia that were actually affected by those ransomware. Recently, we got, my company has a client which were attacked by the Hive ransomware, and we're dealing with the recovery procedures and so on and so forth. So
did they pay?
The most, sorry.
Did they pay or
pay for the ransom? No.
Yep.
No.
No, okay.
We advise them not to pay. Instead, we're dealing with the the incident response and recovery procedures.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and syempre, what do you call this? We also learn a lot from that particular case. Yeah, including Banco Central. I'm sorry, Bank Sentral Indonesia, which is Bank Indonesia, the same or equivalent to Banco Central ng Pilipinas. We got attacked. Yeah, our central bank got attacked by Conti ransomware. Too many cases. Daming cases.
Probably ransomware is one of the hot threat right now. Question. Sir, what will be your recommendation where to learn and gain certificate for cybersecurity? I guess na-discuss naman ni Sir yun kanina.
Na-discuss naman natin. So you can start learning, do self-study by utilizing CompTIA tools or something like that. Kahit anong certification pwede, basta depending on your goal. What is actually your goal? Whether you want to become a SOC analyst, and then you have to look at the or look for the related cybersecurity certification that would emphasize on cybersecurity and provide you with the fundamentals. Yeah. Yeah, the cost of examination is about $177. Yeah. Then
mostly, sir. Ganun nyo daw katagal na-resolve if there's a ransomware.
Yung resolve, kami kasi yung team namin 24/7 eh. Almost a month.
Probably depending on the case, right?
Depending on the case, siyempre. Depending on the size of data, the case, and how bad the ransomware attack our organization.
Si Raven is one of my student, also part of our CCNA community. He's with his CCNA or networking knowledge, although wala pa siyang certification in terms of cybersecurity, is now working as a SOC Analyst level 1. So you really have to have some foundation talaga para makapagsimula ka lang. Kumbaga, yung basics muna, yung fundamentals muna, kasi doon naman talaga lahat nagmumula.
Yes, correct. Hindi lang SOC, pwede naman as a pen tester or something like that, yeah. Pero pen testing or pen testers are actually ngayon medyo iba na yung trend eh. Dati kasi sobrang daming yung request sa pen testing and offensive. Pero ngayon more into blue team. Oh, good thing that someone is Dan Avergonzado. Yeah. Tinatanong yung SOC Analyst salary range. Okay, let me just calculate. Salary range is about let me see. Let's say pinaka minimum sa amin. PHP, let me convert this one first. It's about 15,000. SOC level 1 with no experience or 1 year experience is about 15,000. Dito sa amin na. SOC level 2 could have about 36,000 to 54,000. No, sa peso. So SOC L1 kanina is about 15,000. SOC L2 is about kanina, sorry. 36 to 54K. SOC L3 could be maximum is about 90,000. Sa pesos na yan Okay? Billy.
Right. So,
May career summit sa
yeah,
Pinas.
probably we can
Pero
have
dito,
career summit in the near future.
yes. I'm actually looking for people, I mean, around the world that will help me to do the, to provide the SOC level 1 because I have I had a query from Saudi Arabia, so I might want to develop my L1 SOC team for different organizations in different countries. May question about playbook? Yes, meron. May SOC playbook kami. So any updates, I will update you na lang, Billy, para you can distribute
Yep,
this
sir.
to
Just
share
let
this
us know,
to
like for example, you're here in the Philippines or you're launching any program or
bootcamp.
anything, just let us know.
Sige.
Right. So I guess we're about to conclude our webinar. Kung wala na kayong tanong, again, pa dun sa mga certificate in attendance, techacademy.ph/SOC.
Take photo tayo. Picture.
Yeah, we're gonna have a picture. Right. So
minsan lang tayo ganito
can you turn on your camera, guys? And I'll just screenshot na lang. Titignan lang kayo sa camera para we can have the souvenir.
Off mo muna yung presentation para makita natin. Yes, okay. Galing.
So, right. So,
hi guys.
I'm gonna screenshot the camera. Tingin na lang kayo kasi I think we're on 5 pages. Okay, so yan.
Smile.
Let's start. 3, 2, 1, smile. Next. So 130 attendees we have right now.
Wow. That's great. Next time, natin yung ibang topic
Yeah, probably we can focus, sir, on, for example, pen testing or
pwede. Ako gustong-gusto ko 'yan. Gustong-gusto ko 'yan.
All right.
Yan yung namin yung specialization namin.
Right. So I guess we're good to go, Sir Semi, again wait lang. Salamat sa inyo, guys. Okay, so on behalf of my community, on behalf of Tech Academy, we are again so very thankful with your presentation and your time, Sir Semi, and hopefully we can have more presentation or webinar in the future focusing on specific topic kasi napakalawak ng cybersecurity. And yun nga, para mas marami pa tayong matulungan at mas marami pa tayong ma-inspire na mga fellow Filipino IT. Okay, and then katulad nung napag-usapan natin, if you have questions, or if you have like opening or you have opportunities for us, just let us know and I'll help you spread the word with these guys para matulungan natin sila.
Sure.
All right. So before we go, any last word for this aspiring cyber security enthusiast, or any last word for a beginner or a fresh grad or a career shifter in the IT industry, sir? What would be your last word?
Ako, very hard to mention this because sobrang dami sa isip ko. Basta ganito. If you want to become a professional cybersecurity, whether it's a SOC analyst or penetration tester or anything, make sure that you have a very good foundation before you jump into something intermediate to advanced, because this would really help you in managing your knowledge and skills. You cannot just jump to something bigger if you did not start from the scratch or from the basic. Always learn the basic, always learn or start from the beginning or the fundamentals. Then you would become a successful cybersecurity expert or cybersecurity professional because you have the full range of knowledge and skills. That's from me.
Agree. Yeah.
What Billy mentioned is correct. You can learn anything. You can learn Cisco, CCNA, or anything else. That would really help you in or assist you in building your skills. Yeah.
Yep, super agree. Kasi yung basics and fundamentals nyo, think of them like the foundation or haligi ng building na itatayo nyo sa career nyo. Kasi yun talaga yung magiging pundasyon nyo as you level up, as you go higher, kumbaga. Kaya make sure that you really have a strong foundation. Of course, katulad ng sinabi ni Sir Semi, the main factor na hinahanap ng mga hiring manager is basically your attitude. Kasi you can have all the skills, you can be technical all you want, pero kung masama naman yung ugali mo, walang gustong makisama sa'yo, it will all be useless. So make sure you are a good person and magaling kang makisama as well as you have all the skills needed for the job. Okay, so yun lang. Maraming salamat. And by the way, I'll invite you again for another webinar this coming Wednesday. We're gonna talk about virtualization in VMware. So kung sinong guest, hindi ko na muna sasabihin, pero we're gonna have someone from VMware itself to help us understand yung foundation or fundamentals ng virtualization and kung ano yung mga certifications about VMware na pwedeng makatulong sa atin. So I'm gonna send emails for details. Siguro tomorrow or after election para ma-prepare kayo. So again, yun lang. Sir Semi, again, I'm so thankful on behalf of my community, on behalf of these guys. Maraming salamat sa inyo and hopefully we can have you again in the future.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, so guys, again, thank you din sa inyong lahat. Guys. So enjoy the weekend and salamat sa support. Lalong-lalo na dun sa mga laging umattend at lalong-lalo na dun sa member ng community ko. Maraming salamat sa support. Hopefully we can have this running continuously as we go on para mas marami pa tayong matulungan. Right? So again, thank you.
Kontakin ko kayo pag nasa Pinas ako. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye guys. Ingat.
Bye.